Hey everybody, it's Shadowstar and Crystal here for another review of Supergirl. This time it's episode 4, How Does She Do It? But before we get into the rest of the episode, there's an interesting fact that I said episode 4. Because if you're looking at the initial air dates, you may be a little puzzled. See, when this initially aired, this ended up airing as episode 5, and episode 5 as episode 4. Apparently, because of the episode having incidents around a bomb at an airport, apparently there was a real news story at the time, and they wanted to postpone the episode due to it being sensitive. So if you look at the air dates, you'll notice that episode 5 comes first, but this was always intended as episode 4. The DVD and most lists will still push it as episode 4 despite the air date.
Okay.
Anyway, back to the episode at hand. We have quite a few things. On the light-hearted side of the story, we have Cat Grant's son.
He was cool.
Yeah, it's a nice plot point, and it adds an extra character dynamic to Cat Grant, because I don't believe she'd mentioned she's a mother until this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice having him, and it just adds a nice side to Cat Grant, because, sure, we've seen her as the strong-handed businesswoman with a weird, who always has good lines, but now it adds an extra dynamic.
Yeah, and the episode title could really apply to her.
I know, I like at the end, Kara twists it onto her as well.
Because the whole time, she's basically gone, and it's basically Kara and James doing all of her work. Being a mother and doing all the business work.
Yeah, and then you throw on top of that Kara's also doing Supergirl stuff, which obviously, again, themed the episode based on the title name. Yeah. Title names in Supergirl start off usually pretty obvious. I've noticed the later season ones are a little less obvious because they're often just references to comics or just weird song references. But anyway, yeah, the Cat Grant's son plot was a fun, light-hearted one. You got to have moments with Wynn and Cat and everyone.
Yeah.
But although it does point out how stupid people are. Like, Maxwell Lord's a genius, but why did he let him on the train?
Oh my god, it's like Home Alone 2. Oh, my parents are on there. No, if parents had gotten on to a train without the kid, they would get off to find him.
I guess, although it is only a train, not a plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Although...
on a plane, once you're boarded, you can't really... I don't know if you can really get off to find him, but this was a train. Yeah,
I don't know. But we also have basically the only plot that's not majorly connected is continuing out, if you want to call it, cliffhanger from last episode. Yeah, season 0. No, from last episode we have this stupid thing with Lucy Lane.
Yeah.
But the only plot of this episode I really don't care for at all.
I know. We've got enough love triangles with both James and Wynn liking her. Now throw Lucy in because she likes James. And just as she was starting to choose James over Wynn, it's like, whoa, now you can't have him.
Oh, God, why do we have to send...
And he was smart. He told her to go away, let's move past it. But then in the end, they were kissing and stuff because she's like, oh my God, you came to the airport to rescue me.
Yeah, okay, even if... that's just stupid. Okay, sure, James is over it. That doesn't mean he's going to let her die in an explosion. Use some common sense.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least we see who got the brains of the family. But, oh, well, that's about the only plot. It takes up a bit too much time because, I don't know, everyone starts talking about it. Even Alex has to chime into the plot. Ugh. The rest of the plot was fine, though. It's just the Lucy Lane stuff I don't care for. But a side note is, what was with that weird slow cover version of Time After Time when Lucy and James were on a date?
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, this episode, last episode did it too, but this episode obviously, once again, has a huge focus on Maxwell Lord.
Oh yeah, definitely. We got a lot more of him.
I like it, especially in the last scene. It really starts to set up the fact that, I wouldn't call him a villain, but it definitely shows some of the grayer sides to his character.
Yeah, he was clearly behind all the bombing stuff. In the end, Kara had this theory where she explained, well, you're paying for the guy's daughter in hospital, and so he probably is paying to help the daughter in exchange for the guy being behind the bombings.
Exactly, because if according to Kara, both the bombs wouldn't have hurt anyone. But it does, but it's still interesting to get more dynamic into Maxwell Lord's character. He very much reminds me of a character we're going to get in later seasons, but we'll get to that next season. But, yeah.
But speaking of the bombs, Hank disarmed one of them and then claimed it was just a dud.
But we can clearly see he's doing something, because we know, there's something going on with him.
Yeah.
There was also a quick bit of that when Kara was blown up by a bomb and she was waking up. She
briefly saw his red eyes.
Yeah, but then she fell back asleep and probably just, I don't know, assumed she was hallucinating or something, but...
Yeah, I don't think... She didn't bring it up. I don't think she's really gonna mention it.
The big focus of this episode is obviously Maxwell Lord. Because although this is 2 episodes in a row without an alien villain or the Astra plot.
Yeah.
Actually, spoiler alert, 3 episodes in a row. I know what next episode is, even if you were to swap them around. But I enjoyed this episode. Definitely enjoyed it more than last time, mainly because I enjoy Maxwell Lord as a character, and you got some good moments with Cat Grant and her son and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was really interesting because at first he was really quiet, but then he kind of came into his own, you see at the end, Cat was surprised that he made a joke.
Although, the only odd thing I find is going back to that Maxwell Lord scene at the end. Maxwell Lord's like, oh, there was someone on that train you cared about. But Maxwell Lord clearly witnessed Supergirl go up and talk to only one other person on that train. Gee, that should be a big hint.
It would be a big hint, but you could just wave it off as, oh, well, the kid spoke first and asked, is something wrong? So... she's probably just, being nice to the kid.
I guess.
He was the only kid in the room, I think.
I guess that's maybe some logic to use, but oh well, it did lead to some fun stuff with Win and Kara and Kat, but it all led to stuff. Anyway, I'm going to give it a nice 8. It's an enjoyable episode.
Yeah, I'll go 7.5.
Makes sense, that's your standard stuff. Next episode is called Livewire.
Oh!
Yeah, I love it! Let's get excited for that one.
Yeah.
Well, let's get excited for the next episode, because I love the next episode. A lot of good lines and one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll see you next time for more Supergirl and other things as well. See you next time, guys. See you next time.